Welcome to Problem Solved, the podcast where me and a special co-host solve all your problems really easily, probably.
Problems? Are you kidding me? I don't have any problems. Okay, I might have a few, but I can work on them with you. Come on.
Hello, welcome to Problem Solved. Hello, Shaun. How you doing?
Hello, Jeff. Doing great. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I've always wanted to have you on a podcast episode, so I'm glad that we're collaborating for everybody to see.
It's happening.
That's right. How you doing in general?
Better now.
Yeah, where are you living?
I'm in LA now. I moved to LA like 2 weeks ago.
Oh shit! I grew up in LA.
Oh, I'm in
Yeah.
I'm an East Hollywood girly right now.
Are you? I was a Santa Monica girly. That's where I grew
Okay.
up. Yeah, on the west side.
I'm better because I was living in Arizona for a couple of years and I was very isolated and lonely. And then I sold everything and I moved back to Montreal, and now I'm doing sort of the Montreal LA thing, and they're both I'm enjoying it.
You're enjoying LA so far? I mean, I imagine you've been to LA before.
No, I
No?
spent 5 days in LA in my whole life, and I was like, I'm going to move here, and I already have friends here, and I've already made friends, and I've like ran into like little internet celebrities already, and we're doing collabs, and like it's fun. The energy here is very interesting.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad it's working out. So this is your new place in the background.
This is my new place, yeah, temporarily. It's like a furnished sublet, near Silver Lake. It's fun. I don't know. I feel like LA will either like embrace you and romance you, or will ghost you. Those are the two options for LA, and I'm feeling a little romanced right now.
Are you? Yeah, it seems like it's just sort of working out for you so far. So that's great. Yeah, I'm excited to never ever live in Los Angeles ever again. It's too fucking hot. It is sprawling. It is so big. Even though I grew up there and was there from when I was 3 years old till 24 years old, I constantly got lost. This was before like GPS and smartphones, but still,
Of course.
I should know how to get around LA, but it's never ending. It's so large. It's ridiculous. And classically, the traffic is fucking bad. Do you care about being in traffic? Does that matter to you?
Yeah.
You say that now, motherfucker.
No, I do care, but I'm not getting into it.
Okay. How are you avoiding it?
Well, I don't have like a 9 to 5, so I could just say no to things, and I could be mindful. And we have Google Maps now. You didn't have Google Maps, and so you had to kind of get lost or be in. You didn't know what the traffic was like, but I could look it up and go, I'm not going there.
That's true. That's true. The problem was, like, it was kind of nice when I was really little because all of my friends lived in Santa Monica. But then when I became an adult and my friends and my work were all over the Los Angeles County, then I had to drive a ton, and I really resented it. But good weather if you like that kind of weather. So that's something.
I guess I like cooler weather, and so. Maybe I'm a winter guy here and a summer guy in Montreal, but so far so good. And of course, things will change.
I'm glad it's working out for you. Yeah.
For now.
Before we get into a bunch of questions that folks submitted, can you introduce yourself a little bit to the audience if they don't know you yet?
Sure. Yeah. My name is Shaun Galanos. I'm a love coach. I've been doing this work for about 10 years. I started driving a taxi cab in San Francisco in 2014, and I started recording the conversations with my passengers, and I asked them questions about sex, love, and dating, and I called it The Love Drive, and I put it on YouTube, and that sort of started the journey of creating love, relationship, and dating content. At some point, I got certified as a coach, started working with clients and doing groups, courses, and retreats. And now I'm doing more like writing and LA kind of things. I'm here for showbiz, baby. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. When I was in LA, a lot of times I would respond to people with, that's showbiz, baby. And you just, and then that's that. And everybody kind of understands what you're saying when you say that.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that. And you also have a podcast, right?
Oh, I used to have my own podcast called The Love Drive. Did that for like 3 years of like interviews with people. But then I have a new podcast called We Can Do Better with the Angry Therapist.
That's right.
John Kim, who lives in LA. And we've been doing that for about 3-4 months. And it's been really great. It's been sort of John and I exploring our relationship on how we can be better as men and as humans, and then doing some Q&A and answering call-in questions, sort of like Love Line, reboot kind of thing.
Did you listen to Love Line when you were a kid?
Yeah. I remember being like probably about 12 or 13, and I had this like Sony square little white Sony alarm clock radio combo.
Sure.
And I'd stay up late at night listening to Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla talking about sex, love, and dating. And that's sort of the thing that's inspired me from the beginning.
Me too, actually.
It's so great.
I started listening to them when I was in 4th grade. So I was like 9 years old, and I had a tiny little radio that I would sneak into my bedroom and try to stay up late. And and I fell in love with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. I learned a lot of things. Maybe not the best way to learn things about sex and relationships. Sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't. Depends if what Adam or Dr. Drew was answering or what the caller was all about. But I would take that information back to my friends in elementary school and deliver it to everybody. And it was very exciting.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I actually remember any of the advice, or if like consciously I was using their advice. I just was entertained by the conversations, and I'm sure we got some of it through osmosis. But at that age, how much are we even retaining? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'm not sure either. But I think it definitely had an impact on me. Looking back, probably like Adam Carolla having an impact on me when I'm 9 years old isn't the best thing in the world. But whatever. It felt very cutting edge back then.
Hopefully we can make a more positive and healthy impact.
Yeah, exactly. Well, then let's get into some of these questions and see how we can do. Like I told you before we got on the podcast, I've got about 25 questions. We're going to go through them kind of quickly, but just sort of like see where it goes. Okay, first question. I don't want to fuck around, but dating only to marry is a huge pressure. Do you have any ideas for me? So how do you date but not fuck around, but also like, I'm not looking to get married? Is there a middle ground, do you think?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a middle ground.
Yeah? So dating to just get engaged, maybe? Or just long-term relationship? Or
I guess.
I think what
short-term? What I have on my dating profile is casually looking for something serious. Right. So, and I know that might send all sorts of messages, but I'm hoping the message that it sends is that I want to be intentional about a long-term relationship, but I'm not super attached to meeting that right away.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there just has to be some wiggle room at the beginning for us to just see, do we even like being in each other's space?
Sure.
And to not approach every first date as I am looking to get married.
Mm-hmm.
Just know that is what I'm looking for, because I think that could put a lot of undue pressure.
Definitely.
In the early stages.
Yeah. Are you getting like responses from people being like, okay, like pick a fucking side, my guy, or like do you feel like I can't count on you, or the uncertainty is icky, or is everybody like really appreciative of your honest communication right from the jump?
No one's mentioned it.
Oh.
Like I also say looking for someone to go to Costco with, and like that's what people are responding to. They're not responding to the casually looking for something serious. I think what happens is that when someone sees that and they want to match with you, they resonate with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to match with you to push back and go, yo, my guy, you need to pick.
I just get a lot of, and it might be like my specific followers, I get a lot of like women telling me like, what the fuck is up with these guys who are like looking for short term, open to long term, right?
Yeah, the old Hinge prompt.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's like whatever they're saying what they want and what they're looking for, and that's the really good information and data for you to have when you start talking to somebody, you know. So yeah, I imagine to this question and to what you're saying, like as long as you're putting it out there at the start and you're not deliberately trying to like avoid that question or play coy or what the fuck ever, then like you're good to go.
We could talk about this. We could spend a whole hour on this for sure. I also think that just writing, looking for something long term and not open to short term, like being way more intentional about what you're looking for, is also a good strategy. My friend was like, "Hey, just tell the universe it's listening and be specific." Sure,
I support that. Okay. Next question: how do you get over your partner's past intimate experiences? Have you ever dated somebody, or have you ever experienced have you ever dated somebody and been, I don't know, had a hard time with the fact that they've had a past and that they've had like, you know, really sexy experiences with exes?
The older I get, the less this matters. This used to really trigger me when I was younger. Because I was insecure. Sure. Right. And the fact that my girlfriend at the time, I'm remembering one specific person, had a lot of sex toys. And I knew that she had used those sex toys on other people. And I was really uncomfortable with it. And she, you know, one day she was like, "Look, honey, first of all, the sex toys don't mean anything. You're the person that I love. They don't hold any emotional charge. If you want, we can go get our own and we'll just use those instead. But it'd be a shame to throw these away because they're, you know, they're not cheap and they're fun."
Right.
So the older I get, the less this matters. The more I realize that all of my partner's experiences have shaped them to be the person they are today.
So your answer to this person is just like, grow the fuck up.
No, it's not. Older. It's okay to feel insecure about this, but ultimately this probably isn't what matters, right? How they treat you, how you feel about them. That's what really matters. But and also grow the fuck up.
Yeah, grow the fuck up. But this is also, I wouldn't recommend putting this on your partner. If you're like, I feel really jealous about the people that you've slept with, I'm not sure your partner can do much to reassure you. They might be able to like validate your emotional experience if they can. I don't even know if they should, whatever. But like, this feels like this is your own personal work that you can talk to your therapist about and that you can talk to your friends about, that you can try to work through on your own. I'm all for like telling your partner what you're struggling with if it's getting in the way of connecting with them. So I'm okay if you mention this to somebody that you're dating, but I'm not sure you're going to get what you need from them. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, if you could mention it from like a detached place, like, "Hey, I notice that sometimes I get a little jealous about your previous history, and it doesn't mean you have to change anything or say anything. It's just like something I'm currently working on, and I still think you're delightful, and thank you for being honest about your past." Right? That's one thing, but that's some pretty healthy, you know, advanced communication.
That is.
Especially when you're triggered about your partner's past and you're experiencing, what is it, retroactive jealousy?
That's what they call it.
And that's hard to have that, to have a partner who's experiencing that. That's really hard because there's not really much that the other person can do about that.
It's a really helpless feeling of like, I wish I could help you through this, but I've got nothing for you. And for me, I'm also like, I'm really like, the past has shaped me. It has made me into the partner that you really like or love today. I hold a lot of my exes like in my heart in like a special place. So I don't want to pretend like I was never in a relationship before or that I didn't have like really sexy experiences before. I'm not going to be maybe blabbing about it all the time with you, but I don't want to ignore it. That just feels not me. Yeah.
Yeah. And just know that when we are exes, I will hold you in my heart with tenderness as well.
Good. Next question. What to do when feeling unsure about the person you're with, but that person has all you want?
Man, that is so hard.
Yeah.
Doubt, like doubting your current relationship, even though they like quote unquote check all the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's kind of normal sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah. Who's not going to have doubt? I mean, you might fool yourself into not having doubt or not thinking about the doubt at the start. But I think we need to like hold space for that doubt, understand that it's going to be there. It's a really normal thing. And you get to decide how you want to interact with the doubt or how powerful you want that doubt to be. And also trying to like, you know, you can ask yourself, where is this doubt coming from? Is it coming from a place of like, I'm afraid to connect with my person, and so I'm going to like hold on to some doubt so I don't have to be really intimately connected? Does it feel all too secure and nice and lots of harmony, and does that make it feel kind of boring? And that's what's like creating the doubt, because I used to be in really chaotic and adventurous relationships. So there's, you know, talk to your therapist about it probably. But like my first thing is where you went, where it's just like, well, who doesn't have doubt? What the fuck ever, right?
I think underneath the doubt is fear, for sure. Fear that this is not the right person for me, fear that they're going to leave me, fear that I'm not enough. I mean, I think it all kind of boils down to fear.
Mm-hmm.
I told someone that I was having doubts about our relationship because I felt like maybe I wasn't going to be enough, or that I wasn't going to be able to do this. And it like really fucked us up. She was not into hearing about my doubt. And so now I'm not sure whether you bring it up or not, right? Like sometimes you bring it up with your therapist, maybe you don't bring it up with your partner, but I really struggle with that because I really want to be able to have these super honest conversations. And I'd love for a partner to be like, hey, I love you. It's okay for you to have doubts. I have doubts sometimes too. And that doesn't have to mean the end of a relationship or that we're fundamentally a bad fit. So
right.
I kind of struggle with how much to disclose in this instance.
In your situation, did you think that your partner was going to be able to like hear that and empathize with it? Or were you worried that it would be triggering for some reason?
100% thought that she was going to back me up and like it was going to bring us closer together.
Because it's a really like, vulnerable thing to admit. So I understand where you're coming from. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was one of those like conversations where we're like sitting on the kitchen floor, you know, where like it's sort of migrated to, this is really hard, right? And we need to sit down where we are. So it was a heavy thing. And then she basically said like, yeah, can you just bring that to your therapist friends and your coaches and not me? And I was like, okay, all right, that's fair, I guess.
Yeah. Would it be like a question that you would ask right after, you know, defining a relationship with somebody? Like, if I ever felt doubtful, would you want me to process that with you? Or do you want me to just sort of figure that out on my own and only bring it to you if I'm like really thinking that something's wrong?
Yeah. Nice. I like that.
Problem solved.
Next level.
Question.
Problem solved. That's what we're doing here.
That's what we're doing. Okay. What do you guys think about a significant sweetie making AI nudes of other people? Does it qualify as cheating? Does it fall into the realm of porn? Is it the same as those accounts on Tumblr that used to make erotic fan art of Dean and Castile from Supernatural? I don't know anything about Dean or Castile from Supernatural, but do you know anything about Dean or Castile?
No, and I don't know. No, and I don't know anything about AI art nudes, AI nudes, and making them.
So you could someone could take your face and then ask AI to make like a naked body that would seemingly fit what you look like, and now there's like a naked picture of you. It's an AI sort of deep fake nude that's not really who you are.
Okay.
But I mean, I think this happened to like Taylor Swift somewhat recently. There was like this nude AI art, and she was like going to press charges or something. It was shared on X. I don't know.
Right.
Anyways, so what do we think of your partner making AI nudes of other people? Does that qualify as cheating? Does that fall into the realm of porn? What do you think?
I mean, why are they doing it? Is it just for fun? Is it to get points on Reddit? Like, is it to masturbate to?
Right. Great questions.
Man, what I think is correct, I don't even know how to answer this, but some people consider porn cheating, like looking at porn as cheating, right? So
Right.
what that means to me is that everybody has their own definition of what is and is not a boundary violation. I don't know whether it's cheating or not. I don't think so. I think cheating is like when you're hooking up with somebody else,
Sure. Yeah.
But then people are like, what about OnlyFans? And what about sending nudes? And it's like, it's true. There's a lot of breadth here. It's a big spectrum. So what is and is not okay with you? I'm more interested in, hey, listener, how do you feel about this? Mm-hmm. How does it make you feel that your sweetie is making AI nudes of Taylor Swift? Mm-hmm. Right? Like, what does it mean? What's the story you're telling yourself? How does it impact your relationship? These are the things I'm curious about. I'm not going to make a judgment call on whether this is appropriate or not.
I'm going to make you make a judgment call. Here's the thing.
Okay, do it. Fine.
I don't know if I'm going to make you, but I'm going to, because everything you're saying is, I totally agree with it. I get the feeling that, if you can categorize this as cheating, then you can be like, then they would feel like more empowered to be like, stop doing this. This isn't okay. But if you categorize this as porn, it's like, hey, who am I to control your porn? Like you watch all the porn you want, babe. Although there's also the question of like, how much do I consider my partner with the porn that I watch? Like the porn that I'm watching is impacting my partner in a negative way. Is it so important for me to watch that porn? Or like, why aren't you being sex positive, babe? Why are you judging me for the porn that I'm watching? Yeah, this can go into way too many directions.
Okay, I'm ready. AI, making AI deepfake nudes is not cheating.
Okay.
It's art. It's sex. It's sex art. It's porn. It's porn. It's making porn. It's making porn images.
I think that's, yeah, you're creating porn images and you have like a little bit of you get to like be somewhat of the director, you get, instead of just like watching whatever porn is out there, you get to step into it and choose the actors. It's still just porn. It's still just like artistic.
You're a porn creator.
You're a porn creator.
There you go. That's what your sweetie is doing. They're creating porn, and then you get to figure out whether you're okay with that or not.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what category it enters into, whether it's cheating or porn. You get to still have a reaction to it, and it's probably a good idea if you can tell your sweetie how you feel about it, so they can consider that.
Okay. What about having sex with a robot? Cheating, not cheating? Because I think that's going to happen. That's already happening in Japan. There's like robot brothels.
Sure.
So cheating?
I feel like that's masturbating.
Right. With a toy.
Yeah. My girlfriend masturbates with a toy. Maybe I would masturbate with a toy that is a robot girlfriend.
A very sophisticated, expensive toy.
Yeah, exactly. That's like elevated masturbation is what I think that is. But still, like what do you think? Is that cheating, or is that porn, or is that masturbating, or all the above?
No, I think it's masturbating. And again, if you're in a relationship with someone who has sex with robot dolls, sort of sex dolls, then you need to figure out whether you're okay with that and what it means and the impact. I mean, these are very like therapist answers that we're giving, right?
They are, but invite the like AI robot doll in, like have a threesome. Can we do that? Is that like a fun thing to all play with the doll together?
I mean, I think the doll, if you're a penetrator, the doll's probably fun. If you're the one getting penetrated, I don't know if the doll's going to do it for you.
That's good. Yeah. Is the doll consenting also? Right? Because the doll thought it was just going to have like a one-on-one thing with you, and now all of a sudden there's a third.
I mean, the doll's purpose is to give pleasure, I think. So however you use the doll, I think is okay.
But it might have like an AI personality. And when do we respect that as... All right, you know what? We're going to go on to the next question.
It's a sentient being. Anyways. Yeah.
Problem solved, problem made worse.
I think so, definitely.
Okay. Next question. Should you keep your ex on social media? We don't comment or like posts. So I guess, should you stay connected with your ex on social media if you don't communicate with them at all? This feels like a real personal question. You can do whatever
It
the fuck you want
depends.
to do.
It depends. I don't because usually I want space from my ex and I want them to have space and I want us to heal separately, not together. Some people's breakups are very amicable and kind of it's easy for them to see each other, but mine are usually like it's hard for me to see them because it brings up a lot of feelings that I don't necessarily want to deal with in that moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I stay connected to them, but I mute them. And if they decide to unfollow me or block me, then that's what they can do. But I always feel like I want to just mute them, not have them come up on my feed, so that eventually, if I get to a place where I'm curious about them and I don't have so many reactive feelings or whatever, then I can like see what's up, see how they're doing. But that's just me, and it depends on whatever the fuck you want. So we don't get to make a call on should you keep your ex on social media. Is it getting in the way of something? Is it like emotionally fucking you up? Is it making so you can't grieve or move through? Is this like sometimes I feel like this can be like the last connection and you're just not ready to give up that very last connection. So you're not quite allowing yourself to do like another final stage of grief or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. My ex blocked me, so I can't check up on her even if I wanted to.
Yeah. Did she block you on the phone? Could you text her or call her if you wanted?
Oh, I can text her. Yeah.
Let's find out now. Give her a call.
Okay.
No.
Here's the thing, though.
What?
I can call and I could text, but I haven't because I want to respect, our agreement. But I have multiple Instagrams. I have like my personal and then my professional. Sure. Both of those are blocked. I also have my dog's Instagram, and I haven't gone to the point of logging into my dog's Instagram to look at my ex-girlfriend's Instagram, which I think is a sign that I'm doing okay.
It's a sign that you're doing okay. If you had done that, it could be a low point. It could be like you should feel really embarrassed about what you're doing. I have done that. I did that 3 or 4 years ago after a relationship ended, where I didn't log into my dog's Instagram. I don't have that. But when I was together with her, she was at my house and she logged into her Discovery Plus subscription on my Apple TV. And one time I was really missing her and I just wanted to see what she was watching on her Discovery Plus. And I logged in and I saw all the, 90 Day Fiance fucking bullshit shows that she watched. And it made me feel really connected to her. And it made me feel really sad. And it made me feel really embarrassed that I was like logging into her Discovery Plus and she had no idea that I was doing that because she forgot that it was on my Apple TV.
Yeah.
I hate all these things. I miss the 90s.
Bit of a low point.
Mm-hmm.
So before we move on, one thing that's really fun to do is if you have access to somebody's Netflix, change their profile image. It's so funny. It's so simple. It's very because you there's all sorts of different icons and characters that you can pick.
That's true.
My favorite is The Crown, so I'll always put like a little Queen Elizabeth there. Especially if it's a man.
What are you trying to convey by adding that avatar? Nothing?
Confusion. Like they're just like, who the fuck changed this to Queen Elizabeth, the young one,
Yeah. I used to date somebody and she was like still connected to a bunch of her ex's streaming subscriptions. And what she would do is she'd go in there and instead of like deleting herself, she would just change her name to like new user or new profile, whatever. So it seemed like she wasn't there anymore. And that it was just like if you clicked on that, you could add a new user or profile. And she was able to get away with that for quite a long time.
Yeah. I mean, man, life is expensive.
Right? Yeah.
We can't be giving up all these free perks of dating.
No, you can't. Next question. I decided to break up in the near future. how do I stop feeling so guilty in the meantime?
It's terrible.
I think you can stop feeling guilty in the meantime if you just break up with them today.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
If you've made up your mind, you have a responsibility to end it right now.
Yeah. I really love this question.
Because of the audacity?
The audacity, the honesty, I've been there. I've been that guy. I get it. There's something sort of I don't know what it is. Soothing, satisfying about being like, I am going to break up with this person probably in the next few weeks. And that creates a lot of relief of like, okay, this relationship is going to end. Don't shake your fucking head at me because
it's not at you. It's not at you. It's not at you.
I am not recommending this. This is problematic. But this is young Jeff, and I love young Jeff. Even if he like made some not great choices in relationships, I just want to validate. I love to validate,
Okay.
and I'm just validating the like relief that you get. The relief doesn't last. You still have to do the very hard task of actually ending the relationship. It's fucked up because like you're holding your partner hostage in a relationship that they don't even know that they're being held hostage. Like they could go find somebody who actually really wants to be with them. And you're like not allowing them to do that. It's a selfish, self-centered thing to do. That's how I feel. That's fine.
The relief, okay. I suspect lasts only until the grief the guilt comes in.
Right.
Then there's no relief. Then it's just bad feelings about holding your partner hostage. It's interesting. I feel like I could be the kind of person who would do this, but I've never, once my mind is made up, it's over. I cannot even sit through a dinner with you pretending like I'm not going to break up with you. Like it just happens. And then I get the relief. The relief comes after having done the hard thing.
Has this ever been done to you, do you think?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I think this comes from a place of, it's usually like, oh, but it's their birthday soon, or it's the holidays. Like I can't break up with them on the holidays. So it's like, it's kind of virtuous somehow. There's a way to see it that way.
Sure, of course. You got to convince yourself that it's virtuous on some level or it's appropriate, or else what the fuck are you doing here, right? Like
it's never a good time to break up.
No.
It's not going to be better in the new year. Like Jan 4 is when I'm going to do it after, because we have plans for the holidays. And man, I'd rather be single on the holidays if I know that I'm about to break up with my partner.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. So we're not actually giving this person a good answer. You can't not feel guilt. You should feel guilt. Guilt is the appropriate response.
You're a bad person. You should feel guilty.
Yeah, there you go. Problem solved. Bad person.
You're not a bad person. You're doing a bad thing. It's different.
No, Shaun said you're a bad person. Too late.
Cut it out. Edit the other part out.
Yeah. Should we give up on dating apps? Honestly, not sure where else I would meet people at 36 years old.
Can I just slap this person?
Please do.
Are we allowed to slap people here?
You can, yeah.
What do you mean? You don't know how to meet people. Okay, I want to give love for all the introverts out there. And I also want to just give some love for the fact that like a lot of people grew up on dating apps and just don't know how to meet people. But like, yo, there's a life out there. There are people out there. Our parents did this without dating apps. We can still do this without dating apps. Dating apps are a crutch. And they are a way of meeting people, for sure.
Yeah, they're a way of meeting people. And if you're only relying on that, then you're only going to there's a lot of dating apps they have an algorithm that's frustrating. They create burnout. There's so many like little micro rejections and ghosting. Like it's an emotional toll to be on the dating apps. And so it's understandable that you'd want to meet people in other ways. But yeah, you just fucking meet them, whatever. Go do hobbies and interests, whatever. But like also just like talk to people, talk to random people, have conversations with somebody who's looking at you, see how that goes. I don't that it's changed in Portland, Oregon, where I am, where it's not as when I first got here 20 years ago, before the dating apps, I'd go to bars and people felt a lot more open to being like talked to or flirted with. It doesn't feel like that. I don't know if I'm projecting that shit or if that's really actually changed. So it does feel like there's like an extra barrier compared to what it was like 20 years ago. But it just means that you're going to have to kind of get out of your comfort zone and do it.
There's a lot we can say about this. I think dating apps, the allure is that you can kind of pick from a menu of people and that you can make the best selection for you without even having to leave the house. And meeting people in real life, you're like, but what if I only meet them in like these 3 places? Like, how do I know that they're the best fit for me? And it's like, well, you don't. And it does require a different kind of courage and you will be experiencing rejection because you might be approaching people who are like married and you have no idea whether they're even available. And that's what the dating app gives you, right? Like a plethora, hopefully, if you live in a larger city, of people who are open to dating, right? So there's less risk, initial risk. There's less risk, but there's also, I think, less reward than meeting someone out in the wild.
I agree.
So can we give people real quick, like, how do you meet people in the wild?
Yeah, let's talk about it. I mean, there's the class. I mean, there has been somewhat of a response to people not liking dating apps. So here in Portland, there's lots of singles events where you can actually physically go to these events. There's also, I don't know if this is a thing in LA, but speed dating is fucking taking off here. And there's like lots of different sort of interesting creative ways people are doing the speed dating. It's not as, I don't know, boring as it used to be, possibly. There's also like run clubs that only single people join. There's also just like going to fitness. You meet a lot of people, like-minded people, and a lot of times you kind of just, you're going to fitness. I hate going to fitness. I do it almost every day. So there's like this sort of like this camaraderie that's built of like, oh, we're doing this thing that feels bad, but I also feel accomplished and it feels healthy. Asking your friends to set you up with people. We love that. That's a great. Your friend is playing Cupid, and they feel important. You get to. There's somebody who like knows you well and knows other people really well. What am I missing? What do you want to add?
Yeah, meetups. I mean, if fitness is one thing, not everybody likes fitness. You could do meetups. You could like go to pottery classes or hike groups or like bird watching or I've been doodling, puzzle making, like anywhere that like people gather on a semi-regular basis and there are new people coming in and out. It's so funny you mentioned this. I totally forgot. I'm going to a singles event tonight in LA in Highland Park.
Nice.
Called The Feels. They have them in New York, DC, and LA. I've never been before, so it's kind of scary. And,
do you know what the setup is? Like you just go and it's just a big open space and that's that? Or?
No, it's very facilitated. And I guess I just got an email saying that there's going to be some physical contact, like holding hands back to back. And so they're going to do, I think, just these like facilitated exercises and they're going to pair people up and they'll be like, the person with the shortest hair goes first. And then maybe there's an open like chit chat snacks portion of the evening as well. But that, that's scarier than swiping.
Yeah, that is.
That's scarier than swiping. I'm already like kind of nervous. What am I going to wear? Hat, no hat, like what, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I get it.
So do we help?
So be brave.
Problem solved?
Problem solved. Next question. We got about 10 minutes left. Can compatibility in sex be improved after 9 years of relationship, or should I just give up?
Have you ever been in a 9-year relationship?
I've been in an almost 9-year relationship, an 8-year relationship.
Okay.
Yeah. And no, we could not improve the sex.
Was the sex the problem, or was it
it was part of the problem. Yeah.
It was?
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say it's partly my fault. I think I might stand by this. When I met my ex-wife, I was 31 or around there, and we got together, and so much in common: values, sense of humor, sort of direction that we're heading, our love for Portland and food scene, whatever, and just like lots of banter and like check boxes all around. The sex was like good. I was like, this is good. This is nice.
Yeah.
But for her too, I think she would have been like, that's incredibly acceptable sex. And we're both like, there's too many good things. There's too many good things for us to not continue dating, and we continue to fall in love, and we continue to like work on sex, but are finding out that we're just like not totally compatible. And then I like make this decision. Sex isn't something that's incredibly important to me right now, which was true at 31 or 32 when I'm coming out of my 20s, where I was just like, yay, let's do lots of sex and be really adventurous. I'm like, now I'm an adult at 32 years old.
Yeah,
I've had my fun. Yeah, I'm growing the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then eventually sex turned out to be important to her and me. More important than we gave it, at the beginning. And that was one of the issues that eventually split us up. So can it be improved after a 9-year relationship? It can, but it might not. It depends. Like, what have you tried? What's going on here? What is your incompatibility? Do you need to open up and be more vulnerable and talk about your fantasies and spice shit up? Then try that. If you've tried all the stuff, then maybe not.
Yeah, and also, was it great and then something happened, or was it never that great? Right. Yeah. And even if it was never that great, doesn't mean it can't be improved, right? Like, do you go to a sex party? Do you hire a sex coach? Like, there are things you can do.
Yes.
I think if the relationship is great, it's worth working on.
It's worth working on. And if it feels like a good, secure relationship, you're both like a little meh about the sex. Yeah. Do you want to open things up a little bit? Is that an option? Yeah.
Spice it up. Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, exactly. Spice it up. There's a lot. I think there's a lot that can be done before we give up.
AI robot sex? Do you want to add that into maybe that would really spice things up? Yeah.
AI, deep fake nudes.
Exactly. Next question. I fantasize about fucking my male therapist. I'm female. Do I need a new therapist?
I think if you want to fuck your therapist, you should tell them.
Yeah. Exactly. And understand that therapists have been trained on exactly how to talk to you about it. So even if somebody tells me that that I'm going to like take a beat, that's not something I typically talk about. But I'm also like ready to talk about it, and open to it being like an awkward conversation and us getting through it. And a lot of times, if you get on the other side after you've talked about it, you feel even safer in the relationship. You feel like you can really bring up anything, right? That was like a really scary, vulnerable thing to bring up. And also just want to like validate that it's completely normal to have fantasies of fucking your therapist, falling in love with your therapist, having a crush on your therapist, because this is a really intimate relationship. All of a sudden you're being really vulnerable and honest emotionally in ways that maybe you've never been with anybody else. So it's natural that there's going to be like, oh, like I feel so safe and cared for. Am I in love? Or I want I want to experience this type of thing with somebody else. And maybe this is, what it feels like to really be open and intimate with somebody. So having those crushy romantic feelings come up is normal. And it might not actually mean that you want to fuck your therapist.
I will say that your therapist, if they're properly trained, will probably try to figure out what it is that makes you want to fuck them. Like what feelings are coming up, what characteristics do I have as your therapist that make you want to do this, or that have this,
Totally.
And then maybe draw parallels to how you could find that in your life.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
We have time for one more question.
Okay.
I'm trying to find a good one. I think this one is on trend, and maybe we've sort of talked about it a little bit, but my boyfriend masturbates to the thought of other girls, and I have a hard time letting go. Interesting that your boyfriend told you that he's thinking
kind of a wild
women.
move.
Uh-huh.
Kind of a wild move.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to... yeah. I mean, you know, like when you're like having sex and your fantasies go in all the different places, whatever. Like your fantasies don't have to be problematic. Actions can be problematic and judgmental. Fantasies are like, do whatever you want in your fantasies. But if you're fantasizing about fucking other women while you're fucking your girlfriend and it's getting in the way of connecting or getting in the way of feeling really good or being in the moment, then think about that. Do some work, talk to your therapist about it, talk to friends. I don't know. But I understand why it would be hard to get past this if you're the girlfriend.
There's also a difference between wanting to fuck Natalie Portman in your head and wanting to fuck your coworker.
That's a good point.
Or the barista down the street.
Yes.
You know, those are two different things.
Yeah. Oh man, I want to fuck Natalie Portman.
Me too.
Yeah.
She's my like, Natalie, if you're listening, I'm in LA now. I know you're in France. I don't know what happened with your last relationship, but I'm open.
Oh, last I heard she was single.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
exactly.
I would not put it past Natalie to be listening to this podcast.
I also
pretty sure she is.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past her to not be single anymore. So.
Right. There's that too.
Might have lost my chance.
Yeah, you might have.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to yuck anybody's fantasies. And I think there's also room to talk about your fantasies. So like, how can you talk about your fantasies in a way that doesn't inherently threaten your partner?
Yeah, you might have to ask them how much they want to hear. How much detail they want to hear about your fantasies. So get a little bit of consent instead of like just going for it and talking about it. I too want to talk to my partners about my fantasies, and I want to hear about theirs. There will be fantasies that they tell me about that could make me feel jealous or insecure. I think I can like move through it and past it, but I also want to trust that like if they're having fantasies and they are thinking that it might make me feel insecure, then they're gonna know not to tell me, and they can just like have fun with that fantasy on their own.
There's also a difference about a fantasy that includes your partner and one that does not include your partner.
That's true.
Also, are you polyamorous?
I'm non-monogamous, so I'm in like a monogamish relationship where we do like threesomes or swinging. Yeah. Cool. But not like poly having multiple relationships. That's too much.
Yeah. Too much. Yeah. One is hard, you know, imagine more than one.
I don't even want to imagine more than one. Yeah. All right. You did great. We did great. We solved so many problems. Thank you so much.
That was so fun. So fun.
Yeah. Could you let people know, remind people where they can find you if they want to learn more about you and follow you on social media?
Yeah. The Love Drive on Instagram. The Love Drive is also my Substack publication where I write about unadulterated rants for love cynics, and then my podcast with John Kim called We Can Do Better. Everywhere you listen to and watch podcasts.
All right, man. I'll link to all the things that you said in the show notes, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank you so much, Jeff. This was fun.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.